So I'm going to go ahead and get started so we can get the video going. You guys can all watch this back later and let us know if you have any questions. So today we're talking about making MLS offers. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. And here we go. All right, so now you should be able to see my screen. And today we'll be talking about making MLS offers and then following up. And you can do this or you can have your virtual assistant do this. So the first thing that you'll want is to work with a realtor in your area. So you can have your virtual assistant call around and different realtors in your area and just to make sure that they work with investors or they would be interested in working with investors. One of the things to make sure that you let them know is you do submit multiple very low so that they expect that type of volume, that they can handle that type of volume. Not all realtors are going to be a good fit for the business, so you really want to make sure that those realtors are expecting that and are willing to put in the work, such as walking the houses when they're accepted, get photos, sorts of things. So the first thing you want to do is find your realtor, okay? And then once you find your realtor, they're going to be the ones that submit your offers, but you can introduce your virtual assistant to them and then just ask to be copied on all correspondence. So once you find your realtor, the first thing you're going to do is ask them to listings. So your realtor should be able to tell you where all the spots are, especially if you're unfamiliar with the area. You can ask them, where most of the houses are selling, what areas are decent areas. You don't want to buy in the really bad parts of town. A lot of investors don't want rental houses or fix and flips there. So you want to make sure you avoid those types of areas. And then the realtor should send you the back on the market and price reduced daily listings. So they actually set up an automatic listing generation, come right to your email where they don't have to actually log on and resend it every day. So they can set that up for you, and then they want to go ahead and send you at least 50 to 100 listings to get started. So first they'll send you a huge batch of listings where you're going to do all the work, or your virtual assistant can do all the work, and go through all of these listings to make sure they meet your criteria before you offer on them. And then they'll those reoccurring daily lists as well, so that you get first notified anytime property back on the production. So after they send you all of those listings, you're going to let them know that you appreciate everything they've done so far, and now you're going to do the work to go through all of these listings, find out the ones that you want to actually make the offers on, and once you have those, you'll submit those to the realtor. When you're requesting these listings, you're going to want to tell them what your criteria is so that they can actually send you what you're looking for. So you want as is, any properties that need work, desperate sellers, discounted prices, those types of properties. Vacant, they don't always have to be vacant, but that's going to show motivation because the seller is usually going to be paying for houses. If they have this vacant house, they have to live somewhere. So they're going to be paying either rent or a mortgage on a different house. So we definitely want to target those vacant houses. And then price reduction. So this means the seller is needing to sell fast and that they're highly motivated. And it looks like someone joined. Mark, are you there? Let me know if you can hear. I'm going to keep talking, and then I'm going to keep going through this. You guys let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so 3 bedrooms. We do offer on 1 and 2 bedrooms, but we have to get them at a really, really good discount, because otherwise they're hard to resell. RV is going to be a lot less on those. You want to let them know that you want starter homes, so any entry-level homes that first home buyer landlords would want to buy. And then the hot area we talked about earlier, those areas that have the most transactions. So next we're going to talk about the 25-to-1 system, and this is something we've been teaching for a really long time. And it basically means you're going to be doing lots of volume, making lots of offers just to get one deal accepted. And the ratio that we have is 25 offers to 1 deal accepted. So don't expect to be putting out, 100 offers and getting 20 accepted. In fact, if you do that, that means you're offering too much. So the 25-to-1, we've really narrowed that down so that it shows us, we're making enough offers to get that one deal accepted, but that one deal is actually going to be a really good deal that we're going to be able to make work, either, wholesaling or rental property. If you're too many accepted, you're probably offering too much and you need to scale it back. And how you find your multiplier, which we'll talk about later. So how do you know how much to offer? The 25 is going to actually be really helpful when you start making a lot of offers. So like I said, if you're getting a lot accepted, you're offering too much. Get any accepted, you're probably offering and you it up. Okay, so this talks a little bit more about that. So for example, in some areas, you could start by offering 80% of the asking price. Now, this is just a really, really quick tool. So it's not going to be super accurate. It's not going to give you your rehab cost, your commission, like everything like that. It's just going to get you in the door, especially working, 100 offers per week. You can't go through every single property and run all the numbers. So what we do is we make a ton of offers per week. And so how we can do that fast is by taking this multiplier. And right now we're actually using a 70% of asking price multiplier, but that changes. So a couple of months ago, we were at 60% of asking price, and we've kind of bumped that up a little. So it does change. Play with it. So this kind of goes hand in hand with, if you're offering 80% of that asking price, but you're not getting any accepted, you need to bump up that multiplier a little bit until you start getting some properties accepted, and just do it a little bit at a time, so that again, you don't end up with too many properties that you're overpaying for. And then every area is different. So in the Quad Cities, we can do 60 to 70% of the asking price, and we have no problem. But in areas like Los Angeles or Phoenix or Miami, you're going to have to offer way more than 60% or 70% of the asking price. So you're going to have to play around. It's going to depend on the market, but you can start somewhere maybe in the range of 80, 85% depending on your area, and then just go from there. And your realtor can really help you narrow that down also. They can send you what has sold, so you can look at the comparison between the sold price and the listing price. So if things are selling maybe even over asking price, that way, that's just good knowledge to have. And your realtor will have all of that information. So don't be afraid to ask them for their expertise. And then the key to this process is offers. So like we said, it's the 25 to 1 system. So for every 25 offers, you're going to get that one deal accepted. So if you make 100 offers, we're expecting to get around 4 deals accepted. So if you're wanting, to build up your pipeline, you're going to have to make a lot of offers. So that's again why we do the multiplier, so that we can put in large batches all at once. And that's why you have to find a realtor that is okay with that, because a lot of realtors don't want to waste, or what they think is wasting time on submitting all of these low offers when they know a lot of these won't be accepted. What you have to make sure you convey to them is that this is going to be a volume type business. So yeah, they're making a lot of offers and they're doing a lot of the footwork there, but you're going to be buying a lot of deals. So you really just have to convey that. And then once you have the MLS offers list, you're going to open that, and this is what it's going to look like. And again, this will depend on your area. It might look a little bit different, but you'll have all of the listings over here, usually on the left-hand side, that you can click on. And then when you open the sheet, it should give you all of the information and then the photos to scroll through. And then how do you know which properties to offer on? So I have all of my virtual assistants actually do our MLS offers, because like I said, it's not an exact science. We have like the really good tools put in place, and it works really well just so that we can shoot out those offers. But once we get those accepted, that's when we then go back and we run our ARV, we get our rehab bid, and all of the due diligence we need to do, just like we do on every other property. And from there, we can decide if we need to get a price reduction, if the property won't work, or if it's okay to move forward. So you don't really need to worry about that so much right now. You will have your inspection period in your contract, so that will protect you in case you do need to back out or ask for a reduction. So don't worry about that right now. What you need to know is what properties to offer on. So what we have them do is look at the home details. So for example, if you only have investors that want to buy 3 bedrooms or above, then you're going to want to go ahead and just remove all of the 1 to 2 bedrooms. You don't even want to offer on those if you don't plan to actually buy or resell those. So that's something to look for. And then make sure the property is not in a flood zone. So this is something we do. May not need to do this in your area, but flood insurance will eat into the cash flow. So every house, will have regular insurance, but in some areas they require flood insurance, which is almost the same price as regular income. It's almost like double paying. So we don't buy any properties in flood zones, and that can be checked on the FEMA website. And then no condos, mobile homes, or vacant lots. And some people actually specialize in this. We have a good friend that he buys mobile homes all the time. So if that's your thing, that's totally fine. That's just something we tend to avoid. And we've bought condos and vacant lots as well. So if it's not what you're looking for, again, just make sure you let the realtor know. And they can remove those. And then well or septic tanks. So we've bought houses with well and septic. It's just a headache. You have to get all inspections, make sure that, you know, they work. If they don't, that's, you know, it's costly to repair. And then if you're keeping it as a rental, you know, you could have problems down the line and it's harder to resell. So we just like to avoid those now. And then make sure the listing shows motivation. So this is going to be the key when they're pulling these listings. You know, you want to see the keywords like as is, needs work, handyman special. So when you're going through these, or your virtual assistant going through these to make the offers, they can look in the comment box and see any of these comments there. And then when it gets to the point to actually start making those offers, we have a template MLS spreadsheet. So we actually use this exact same shell of our offers, and I share it with my virtual assistant. And what she does is she'll actually go, so if I go back up here and show you, she'll go through each of these listings, and the MLS number is here, the address is here, and the list price is here. And those are the three main things that she's going to put onto the spreadsheet in order to submit that offer. So if we go back to the spreadsheet, you'll see MLS number here, address here, and then the offer, you can see we have actually a formula here. And you can just drag that down and it pulls it down to make the rest of your offers. The list price is here. So if you plug in any list price, it'll auto-populate that offer for you. And you can change that multiplier. So if you're in a area that you need to offer more, you could just change that really fast. Okay, and then she'll fill in the date that she made the offer, the Zestimate, and then she'll go on the tax website and put a little bit more information. And this just helps us decide if, you know, we're making a good offer and that sort of thing. So like last sold date, and sometimes she'll even put like the sold price if it's available, single family or multifamily, duplex, triplex, that sort of thing, and any notes. So if a previous offer has already been made or if it's been rejected, she'll put those notes in here as well. And then the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. So once she goes through all of the listings that the realtor has sent and plugs in all of this information, after she removes the properties you don't want to buy, so any in a flood zone, any mobile homes, anything like that that you are not looking for, what she'll do is just take her mouse and then copy and paste these first three columns. So the MLS number, the address, and the offer amount. And so this is actually going to be a real email that we've sent, and it shows you the MLS number, the address, and the offer amount. So that's exactly what we do, is we just copy and paste it directly in an email. We send it over to the realtor, and then they take it from there on submitting the offers. And then tracking and submitting. So I just showed you how to actually submit those offers. The realtor will be the ones that will go through and put together the property agreement and then send that to the listing agent, so you don't have to worry about any of that. You will have to send like your information in the beginning, how you want to purchase the property. So if you have an LLC, you'll usually have to send your LLC documents, maybe a copy of like an earnest money check. They can usually submit like a blanket copy for all of your properties. Sometimes if you're submitting a cash, a cash offer, they'll also need proof of funds letter. So they'll let you know what you need. And that's just initially to get started. After that, you can just copy and paste your offers and they'll be good to go from there. And now the virtual assistant does all of this, and we just went through everything here. So Zestimate they would get from Zillow, and it shows you a screenshot here of just how to get that. So Zillow.com, you put in the address and the Zestimate will appear. And we have our Scott County website. It would just depend on your area for your tax website, where they can pull like the sales history and put that in the spreadsheet as well. And then this just shows you how to plug in the information that we covered. And then now down to the offer submission. So after you send all your offers over to the realtor, now it's their turn, and we expect the realtor to submit the offers within 24 hours of receiving them. That's the expectation. Really, the fast offers, the faster you can submit them, the higher likelihood of getting them accepted. So you want to have the virtual assistant stay in constant contact with the realtor for follow-ups and just make sure those offers are getting submitted on time. And the realtor can also have access to that spreadsheet. So if you want your realtor to go into the spreadsheet and edit anything, put in notes for the offers that they've made, you can also share your spreadsheet with them. And then the realtor should submit HUD, full price, or competitive offers even sooner. And this is because, again, the higher likelihood of those being accepted, the faster you submit them. So we want to make sure we get our offers in as soon as possible. And then counters, so your realtor is going to email you the counters, and you can have them as long as you just direct them from the beginning, like to copy your virtual assistant. If you want them to be on there to start doing the counters for you, maybe they can see you do a few counters first to get an idea of what you like to do. But when a realtor sends a counter to you for review, they should send it with the address and the subject line. And then in the body of the email, they need to include all of the information from the listing agent. So anything that was countered, whether it was the offer amount, closing date, earnest money, anything like that, along with the MLS link. And this just makes it super easy. So when you open that email, you have the address, you have the price that you offered, and you can just click on the MLS link really quick and then go from there so that you know exactly what you're countering. Because if you're offering on hundreds of properties, you're not going to remember all of this stuff. So it's really important for them to be able to do that for you. And the same thing with accepted properties. The realtor should send you an accepted email as soon as the property has been accepted. In the past, we have had realtors that would kind of drag their feet, and a couple of days would go by, we'd finally get the accepted email, and then that's when we get the ball rolling for inspections and that sort of thing. But it is important for them to do that as soon as possible so that you only have a limited inspection period. You want to make sure you take advantage of every single day. So once a property is accepted, they should again send you an email with the subject line to include the property address, the accepted offer amount, and then when you open the body of the email, it should also include that MLS link to the property, the ARV of the property. Now, ARV can come a little later, especially if you're trying to get them to send you the accepted deals as soon as possible. Sometimes they might not have the time right away to get this ARV to you, but if they know it or if they can send that, that would be a great tool to have in that email as well. And then the link to the supporting comps. So again, if they have to send the ARV and comps a little later, maybe 24 hours after they send this accepted email, it's not a big deal. The realtor should also be the one to send you pictures. So you have the pictures of the property from the MLS listing, but what we like to have realtors do is after the property is accepted and under contract, the realtor should go to the house, put on a lockbox, and share the code with us. And that allows us to be able to send all of our inspectors through, or if you're trying to wholesale the property, you just have that convenience of the lockbox. And they should also go through and get you those photos. So the pictures on the listing are usually the best pictures of the property because they're trying to sell it. We want all of the bad pictures of the property. So we want to know what's wrong with it. We want them to go through and get anything that might need work, all of the mechanicals, everything like that, along with a description of the condition of the house. So if it needs a new roof or a new water heater, we want to know that. And she or he, the realtor, is going to be the first one on the scene. So you want to make sure that they give you enough information that you can go forward from there, and you're not spending a lot of money on inspections after the fact to find out the property, maybe the foundation was really bad or something like that. Okay, so they should be able to tell you that. Another thing is they're the experts. So if they go to this house and realize it's on a busy street or a busy intersection, or there's a power line right over it and this house is going to be really hard to sell, they need to let you know that. And then another thing your realtor should be doing is handling the entire closing. So your virtual assistant will be in constant contact with the realtor to help them. But when you're doing MLS deals, that's what you're paying essentially the realtor for. That's what they're getting paid to do, is to handle the entire transaction process. So they need to be in contact with the title company and ensure that the closing goes smoothly. And then if there's any necessary documentation that's needed or anything like that, then they need to request that from you at that time. But MLS offers are usually really simple. The key is to get a really good real estate agent that understands working with an investor, because again, not all agents do. And it's okay to go through a few agents before you find the right one. That's why when we have our virtual assistant call around first to find the agent, that you're going to screen a couple and just really be honest with them. Let them know the volume we're going to be doing. Let them know that you're not going to close on every property. Sometimes other investors, if you can't close on a property. Sometimes you'll resell it. Just be honest, and you will find the right agent to work with. But if you're not honest up front and you don't tell them the volume we're going to be doing, you don't tell them you're submitting low offers, you don't tell them all of these things, and then you start sending them, these offers at 70% listing price, 100 offers per week, and they're, they were never notified, you might end up souring that relationship. So it's all about just finding the right fit. And again, you might go through a few before you do, but they are out there. So it looks like a couple of people joined and we went through this training kind of fast. So we definitely have a lot of time for questions. Let me see who all is here right now. Let's see, can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me? Okay, oh, it says Steve's phone.
Yes, I can hear you fine. Sorry for being late. I didn't know this was going on until like 9 minutes ago.
Oh, no worries, no worries. How are you, by the way?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. It's been forever since I've seen you, I feel like.
Year and a half in Iowa last time, I think.
Yeah. Let's see if I can stop sharing really quick and turn on my camera. Here I am. Hey. So, yeah, I don't know.
Where did everybody else go?
Oh, it looks like we have you, Steve, and then Mark. Hey, Mark.
Oh, interesting. I don't see the rest.
Yeah. So I don't know how much of that you guys heard. I know a lot of people jumped in later, so I just kept going with it instead of stopping. People can watch it back too. But out of everything we talked about, do you guys have any questions so far?
I have one. So I don't use realtors because I have my own real estate license. I could never find a good one, so I just got it myself.
Okay.
And when you make the offer, do you do that? Well, you don't, but do they send them the entire package, or is it just like a one page, like a letter of intent type of situation, or how does it work?
Are you asking like what the realtor does once you submit the offers to them?
Yeah, because I mean, I know every state is different, but here, we have like 21-page offers with everything. What is it that you guys do? Because if I could just send one-page offer and have that be okay, that would be ideal.
So I'd have to ask Trina exactly what she does because we went through a couple of realtors and she's been our realtor now for the last, I don't know, I want to say maybe 2 years, something along those lines. And so she's been handling that. But I know with past realtors, what they've done is they put together the package that would include like the earnest money check. And it was just a blank one, like a copy, where they don't actually go and cash it. Once the property gets accepted, then we would worry about actually getting them the earnest money, proof of funds, everything that's needed in a package. But usually it'd be like electronic. We would just save it. And then she would plug in, like you said, one pager with the address, with the offer amount. And then she would just send that with the package. So she didn't put the package together every single time. It would just be the page. But I do think even now, I think she does formal offers. So she will send like the signed offer over to the listing agent each time.
Okay. Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a transaction coordinator for that, but because sometimes I do residential on the side, kind of. But she does everything. But for me, it's like $100 every time. I don't want to do that.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. But you can do it yourself, you said?
I can. It's just that I hate paperwork, and I've made a few mistakes in the past. That's why I hired somebody else. I'm like, I can't do this. This is up in jail. I can't.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, that makes sense. And so basically, this is and right on the offer, they'll just put buys or assigns, right? I mean, this is just wholesale. Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes they won't allow it. Like I don't remember if it's the HUD deals or bank-owned properties. I remember there was one that won't allow the and or assigns, but we still include it. And then if they come back to us and say no, you have to take it out, then we worry about it at that time. We just still try to get away with it on all properties because you just never know. Sometimes they don't say anything. So.
Yeah, here it's I'm pretty sure we have just a few more years, and while assignment is legal, I think it's gonna go away. Because the last deal that I bought from a wholesaler, they didn't do the assignment. They formed an LLC. The LLC bought the property, and then they sold me the property. So that works too.
Yeah.
But it's just you don't have to do it. Why do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So one page. Okay, I'll just because I'm looking at actually after this I'm gonna go look at a little beat down home that is way underpriced. There's only one picture on MLS of it, so I'm pretty sure it's just a complete,
Yeah.
doing a tear down.
Well, go into the see it, but yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Did you say, are you in Seattle area? Is that, where are you at?
I'm in Seattle area. Yeah,
Oh,
I moved
okay.
just the suburbs just a few weeks ago, but yeah, it's like 20 minutes
Oh,
away.
okay.
So
Awesome.
yeah, you can buy a shoebox here for like 700,000. The prices are crazy.
No, Phoenix is great in that way. You get a lot for your money over here. So,
I've heard.
yeah. How are you
Hey,
guys doing?
I gotta leave, but I just wanted to say thank you. Great information. Enjoyed the information you shared. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. It was good to have you, Steve.
Okay, take care.
Bye. Mark, did you have any questions or did you see any of the training that we went through? I'm not sure how long you were here.
10 minutes late. So I saw a good amount of it. I guess the only question is, usually whenever you're doing like the 70% of MLS price, is that usually okay, or do you usually go even lower than that or higher than that?
Yeah, so in the Quad Cities, our home prices are pretty low. So our range, I want to say, is probably to 40,000. That's what we pick houses for. And then ARV sits around probably 85 to 105,000. And that's just starter homes. Obviously, there's different, types of homes and stuff like that. But in regards to what we buy, so we can get away with offering less just because the prices are a little less too. But it depends on the area. So, like, where are you from? Where do you invest?
I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay, I'm not really familiar with that, but
Yeah.
you might have to play around with it. So I don't know what houses there usually are priced at or sell for. I'm not sure either. Yeah. So probably whatever area focused on, I would just maybe see if you can get your realtor to pull like a cash or even just list, even if they're financed, to see like what, compare the sold price to the list price. And then you have a pretty good idea of how much under people are being those properties for. But you could just play around with it, maybe start at 70%. And then if you're not getting anything accepted, bump it up to 75 and then so forth. And obviously if you come in really low, your realtor could just say like, hey, like, I don't think you're going to get anything accepted, but they usually tend to like to say that anyway, just as a, because they're not used to seeing such offers. That's why it's important to find someone that understands working with investors, because it's a lot different than, if I was going to go buy a retail home to live in, obviously. So a lot of agents aren't familiar with that.
Yeah, because we're doing a lot in Knoxville, like what we call East Knoxville, and so I'm wanting to move into a little bit of West Knoxville, which is a little bit higher priced homes. They're probably in the ARVs of 150s to 200s, and
Okay.
so I think this would be a good way to get into that part of the city.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think if you find the right agent, I don't think there's any harm in just submitting a ton of offers and seeing what comes back to you. If you submit all these offers and don't get anything, you can have your virtual assistant literally just go in that spreadsheet, change that, formula from 70 to 80, drag and drop. You have all new offers and she can just resubmit those. So yeah, you could do it that way.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great information. I look forward to rewatching the beginning.
Yeah, of course. So, well,
Thank
how's
you.
y'all Friday going so far?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were gonna go look at a house. You got any plans later, Mark?
Actually, Dwight and he's my business partner. We're having a big powwow tomorrow. So we're going to do a big biz meeting tomorrow, try and get ready for the rest of 2020 and 2021. So.
Awesome. All right. Sounds good. Well, I don't have to keep you guys here. If you don't have any other questions, you guys can watch this back. And if you think of anything, just let us know.
Okay.
Perfect. Thanks.
Sound
Good to see everybody.
Thanks so much, Amanda.
Bye.
Hey, good to see you. Bye, guys.
You too. Bye.